welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I have said that phrase. I have gotten lazy with YouTube, but here we are. So if you have been following my channel, you probably saw my last video that I released that I didn't even actually edit. It was Max and I's proposal video. So Max and I are engaged. He hired a professional photographer and videographer for the day, which I'm so grateful for. And the videographer got our video back to us 2 weeks ago, and we were able to share the video with all of you guys, and it made me emotional, and it still does whenever I watch it. So since then, we have been wedding planning as much as we can. We hired a wedding planner because Max and I just don't know the first thing about wedding planning, and she has been super helpful. Well, there's multiple people helping. They have been super helpful in planning everything, helping us find a venue and a date and organize what the next steps are because, like I said, we know nothing. Also, a quick side note, I apologize for the blue ring in my glasses. I'm using a ring light, and also I look scary with that makeup on this morning, so I'm wearing my glasses to kind of hide that fact. Anyway, moving on. So far in the wedding process, we have picked our wedding venue and our date, and I filmed as much as I could over the last few weeks as we were wedding venue shopping, hunting, looking, and I wanted to share a few of the venues that we saw. Actually, this is pretty much all of them, and kind of explain why we liked them, why we didn't, and why we picked the one that we did. So that way, if you are interested in planning a wedding, especially in New York, you can look at some of the venues that we looked at. Or even if you're not in New York and you're looking elsewhere, hopefully I can help you understand maybe what to look for in a venue. I am not an expert, and if you are here looking for like expert wedding advice, go somewhere else. But if you are looking for some like mediocre wedding advice, I got you. Okay, so like I said, I clipped together all of the videos from all the venues that we went and saw. I have them all here together, so I'm gonna just watch this video and give you guys commentary on what we liked, what we didn't like, what we wish there would have been, or whatever. So let's just roll right into it. The first place that we went to was this place called the Green Building in Brooklyn. It was very much like a big barn with the wooden ceilings, the wooden floors. The venue and the ceremony and the reception rather, would have been in the same place, which we were trying to avoid, but this place was, I think, a little bit too small for what we were looking for. They had a cool setup because this was an open house. There was like food and this photographer guy, and it was a really, really cool experience for our first wedding venue showing. We thought it was cool, but it just wasn't our venue. There was an outdoor space that we thought was cool. So if you're looking for this kind of barn shape with an outdoor venue, outdoor space, this place was definitely cute. And then we went across the street to a place called 501 Union. They're owned by the same people, so they kind of had similar vibes, but also not really. There was this really pretty open bar area when you first walk in, which would have been perfect for a cocktail hour with like lots of good seating. And they also have food there because it was also the open house. Wasn't as good as the other place, but still nice to have food. When you went into the first room on the right, this would have been the space for the ceremony. We loved all the greenery, the big open windows, the big open space. There was a lot you could do with lighting and flowers, which we did like. And then on the left of the space would have been where the reception would take place, dinner, dancing. We loved the big open concept. We loved all the pretty lights. The top was this like open glass roof, which was super cool. And we definitely could see all the tables and dance floor being laid out here. We also took a peek in the back room for the bathroom and took a selfie because really, why not? This was the best part about looking at all these venues, was just like exploring them together and making these memories. So overall, this place was really good, but not exactly the vibe we were looking for. Then we ventured into Williamsburg for this place called the Wythe Hotel. And let me just pause this video and explain super quick why this place is really special. So the Wythe Hotel was going to be our venue up until the last possible second. This space is literally perfect, and I wanted to explain that because we took so many videos, we loved everything about it. It was gorgeous, but ultimately it was not our venue, and I will explain why later, but let's just keep going. So we loved, first of all, that it was this like big standalone building that you could take pictures out in front of, on the side of, and of course the view of Manhattan doesn't hurt. When you first enter, the lobby is so cute and they're decorated for the holidays, which just made it even more special. This space would have been where the cocktail hour would have taken place, where everyone walks in. We loved the black and white floors and the exposed brick. It was such a cool vibe. Again, I'm pausing this video because I want to explain. One of the main reasons why we didn't go with the space is because it was very, very open. So we are planning a November wedding, which is probably going to be a little bit colder than if we were doing like September. So we did not want to have any chance for a rain plan or it being really, really cold and our guests just being freezing while they're drinking and eating. So that was a big reason why we didn't go with the space, but this was a really cool little outdoor area and there was a covering that can come down, but we weren't convinced that it could actually keep our guests as warm as if they had been inside. So overall, the space was great and the lighting was just perfect. This indoor space would have been where the ceremony would have taken place. Also an open concept, but they did have this like ceiling that comes down over it. And then this would be where dinner, dancing would take place. Loved the floors, loved the exposed brick. We loved the overall vibe. Unfortunately, we just didn't pick this venue, but we did love the setup. They also showed us the downstairs where we could have rented a separate space for a brunch or a rehearsal dinner, and we loved the coziness of this room, the bar, the drinking, and all the food, but unfortunately not our space. They did have a really cool restaurant up top with the most gorgeous view of Manhattan. You could have like rented the whole restaurant for a pretty steep price, or you could have like picked a little corner and rented that space out for a brunch. We probably would not have done that because it could have been a little expensive, but it was super, super cool. And then they had this like big outdoor area with another sick view of Brooklyn and Manhattan. And if we were planning an outdoor wedding of any kind, this would have been such a great option, but unfortunately we did not end up picking the Wythe Hotel. Then we went and saw a hotel in Manhattan, and honestly, I'm not even going to go look what this place is called because it's not worth it. The lobby was probably the best thing about this place. It was super nice and cozy and light and bright all at the same time. And that was pretty much the highlight of this venue. Sorry, we went upstairs and the carpet and the chandeliers just gave me like work expo vibes, like work meetings. The restaurant was also kind of okay, but like very small, so we weren't sure what we'd even use the space for. And overall, this hotel was just not it at all. This space could have been used also for the ceremony or also for the reception. We didn't understand the carpet. We didn't understand the mirrors. This place was just not for us, but to each their own. Then I went alone to Tribeca Rooftop and Tribeca 360. They're both in the same building. The lobby was okay, you could decorate it. Tribeca Rooftop was insane. The indoor venue was so pretty. There was this like big glass ceiling and these stairs that you can walk down and be dramatic as you enter. There were so many windows. It was super spacious. The ceremony and the reception would have taken place in the same room, but they would have, you know, done a shift and I'm sure it would have been beautiful. We loved the like openness with all the windows. I already said that, but whatever. And the highlight, of course, is the Tribeca Rooftop. If we were planning an outdoor wedding, probably would have been here because this view is unmatched, but we are not planning an outdoor wedding and we did not want this rooftop to go to waste, especially for the price that it is. So we decided to go with a different venue. And then also in the same building, there's another wedding venue called Tribeca 360. And I understand the layout of it. I understand why it's called Tribeca 360, but it was not exactly what we were looking for. It seemed very like enclosed and also gave off like office vibes. I don't know why that's the vibe that we keep getting from a lot of these places, but maybe it's the carpet, maybe it was the lighting, maybe it was the chairs. I'm not sure. The view outside the windows, especially at sunset, I mean, they were gorgeous, but that was pretty much the only part that made me swoon for this location. They had a really big open bar, which was nice. And then the actual ceremony space that will pop up in just a second was super big and open and also had the windows and a big area for a dance floor, which we definitely appreciated. But overall, this was not the vibe that we were looking for. So it was cool, but not for us. Moving on, we saw a different hotel, Pause. This place was really cool because it was directly next to the Wythe Hotel. So we were excited about seeing a different space, like literally right next to a space that we loved. We went in with pretty high expectations, to each their own. This was not our place, and let me show you why. So the layout was really cool. It is great for an outdoor wedding. So the rooftop, gorgeous. You get a city view of Brooklyn, and then you also get a Manhattan view on the other side. And of course we went right at sunset, so it was just freaking gorgeous. The rooftop itself is like perfect for a rooftop wedding, and then you go inside underneath to the restaurant, which would have been for the reception, dinner, dancing. We just really weren't understanding how a whole dance floor could fit in the space with all the tables. But in theory, this place is really, really cool. We love the like black and white floors mixed with the brown floors, mixed with all the really pretty lighting and the huge floor to ceiling windows. But I don't think we could have A, afforded the space, and B, fit everybody here, and we're not even having big of a wedding. So I'm not sure. This would have been their rain plan. This was not our favorite. It was very like white and stark and kind of reminded me of like being in a temple, which is not the vibe that we're going for. I just couldn't envision with all the poles that a ceremony could take place right there. And then this room would have been for dinner and dancing, and it was just very like enclosed and stark, and it was not the vibe. They also had a really cool restaurant downstairs that you could use for dinner or for brunch or a rehearsal dinner, whatever. We liked it. Again, cool for a dinner, maybe not so cool for the wedding that we are trying to plan. They also had this like little back room with blue fish in it. That was not it. We decided not to go with the William Vale Hotel. I don't know if I said that's what it was called, but it was the William Vale right next to the Wythe Hotel. Just not our venue. And then last but definitely not least was Second. This space was perfect. We loved all the natural light, the kind of unfinished industrial ceiling that you could hang really pretty stuff from. We loved the uncarpeted vibe, the kind of concrete floors. They had really cool long tables, really beautiful circle brown wooden tables. There's this really sick screen in the back outside of the building that you can use to project your own images and videos. This space would be where cocktail hour would take place, and it was really big and open. The windows were just so pretty. They had this really pretty cute library in the back that we could use for photos or signing of the marriage license. And then lastly was that little like restaurant dinner space that you could use for a cocktail hour or rehearsal dinner or whatever you wanted to use it for. So we ended up picking the last venue called Second. We had the Wythe Hotel like embedded in our brains this entire time because we just loved it so much, and we saw it pretty early on in the process. Then when we saw Second, I brought Max back a few days later for him to see it, and we both just really fell in love with the open concept and the floors, the ceilings, the bar, the huge windows, and also the price. It was pretty decent in comparison to the other venues and included lots of good food options, which is pretty much our #1 priority. Other than like, you know, Max and I, the food, #1 priority. And that is pretty much it. I hope this voiceover lines up with the video. It's kind of hard to like record speaking while watching. But anyway, I am planning on recording more of the wedding process as it happens. Right now we're kind of at a standstill with the holidays, but eventually we're gonna do tastings and wedding dress trying on and bridesmaid stuff, and it'll be really exciting. So if you are planning a wedding or you just love looking at the process of wedding planning, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram because I will definitely be posting a lot of the process on there. And as always, thanks for supporting me because it allows me to keep doing what I'm doing and creating these videos for free. I don't even run ads because I don't have enough followers. So do your thing and help me out. I will see you guys next time. Bye.